Excuse me, Eloise, but what do you think you're doing?
Huh? What are you talking about, Raquel?
Stop trying to play dumb with me. I am talking about what happened today at the family gathering and dinner. When I was talking to my aunt, you were there with the two of us as we were gathered there. And I remember you telling her that I'm like a parasite living in your home. Why would you tell her such a lie as that?
Well, look, sis, I was just telling the truth to her. You are already way too old to be living in your parents' house still, and since you still haven't found anyone to marry you yet, that must mean you're like a shut-in or something. You happen to be Brian's sister, so I've done my best to stay quiet about all my feelings towards you. But I've had enough sitting around and letting you get away with such crap.
I understand that I don't have a husband of my own yet, but I am still working remotely while in the house. And very soon I plan to move into a new house close by. I feel that I've explained all this to you plenty of times before, right?
And you expect me to believe that crap every time you tell me about it? You really expect me, someone in their 30s now, to believe that you're in that room all day working on things that are going to make you money?
Making products by hand is a very labor-intensive job, you know.
I don't care. I'm sorry that I've had to be the one to look over you this whole time, even though you're the one older than me. Now, can you start acting a bit more your age and get out of the house and into a life of your own?
Eloise, what do you think people are going to think of you when you do things like that?
And what is it this time with you?
Why are a ton of your things littered all over my room right now? And when it comes to my things, what have you done with them? I can't even find a single thing of mine now.
All of it was getting in my way, so I tossed it all out.
Why are you throwing away other people's things like that when they're not your own? I cannot believe you right now.
Well, isn't this all your fault since you still haven't moved out of the house yet and are way too old to be relying on us? Do you plan to keep living there even though we are staying there now?
Listen up, Eloise. I told you just yesterday that the day I'm moving out has been moved back a bit due to my work and being too busy, right? And that's why my things would be at my parents' house for a little while longer. I told you that right to your face, Eloise.
That's just your poor excuse for not wanting to get out of here. I heard from you that you were having a lot of your things here for a little while longer, but you never said I couldn't throw them away or anything.
That right there is BS.
Well, maybe next time you have to be more specific when explaining things like that to me. Raquel, it's absolutely disgusting that you're still living in your parents' house when you're in your 40s. My husband and I are moving into the house now, so please get lost. I'll be taking care of your mom from now on, okay? So there's no play for you in this house anymore. Just give up for me, please.
I told you that I have to wait a bit longer to move to my new place. Well, I already have a new house, so I guess I will be leaving now. And even if I hadn't bought the place yet, I'd still get out of here.
Trying to act all tough now, are we? I doubt you even have a place right now, and what? Are you gonna go live on the streets or something while searching for a new place?
I can see that nothing I am saying is getting into that thick skull of yours. Tell me right now where you ended up throwing all my things away at.
I don't know. I just toss them in the trash and let the garbage man handle them.
Tomorrow is when they come by this house and pick up the trash. So try again, please.
Who cares where your things are now anyway?
I really can't get a second of decent talk out of you, can I?
Raquel, I'm so sorry.
Brian, can you not see that your wife is a bit screwed up in the head? Are you sure you're okay with someone like her? She's told me that she's gone and thrown out a lot of my tools for work as well as a lot of the products that I had already made. And she's now telling me that she has no idea where she threw all of that stuff away at, and most of it has to do with my job.
I even tried asking her what she did with all that stuff, but she'd only reply by saying she doesn't know. And she kept trying to push this excuse on me that Mom said it was okay for her to toss it all, and that's why she did so. She doesn't even seem to care about how what she's done is completely messed up.
So she's going to try and take advantage of the fact that Mom has early signs of dementia and make her be the one to take the blame? She is so screwed in the head.
I'll make sure to pay you back for everything she threw away. And I'll have her know what's happened because of her actions. I'm so sorry, Raquel.
You apologizing to me isn't really going to solve anything now. But the fact that I hear that your wife is using Mom as her scapegoat is a little bit too disturbing.
To be real with you, this time, I'm really shocked by what she's done, and it's made me lose a lot of trust in her.
I bet. Well, I'm not going to allow this. I guess I'll have to be the one to watch over Mom after all. I'll be sending her things over to my new place as well soon, so can you make sure to gather it all up for me?
Hold on a second. That has nothing to do with what we were talking about before.
Huh? Why are you saying that in times like these? I want to know why you're even marrying a woman like that anyway, who has a rotten character. I'm sure she's just trying to use you, Brian, and you have to start becoming more aware of things like that.
Well, listen. I'm sorry, Raquel. When it comes to how I met her, it all comes down to her being a friend of one of my friends, which led to us starting to date. She really is a wonderful woman, but she happens to have parts of herself that are stronger than others. At first, I thought she just had a hard time listening to me, and used her power as a way of being romantic and kind, and maybe I was wrong.
So what are you trying to get at here?
I'm sorry, that was kind of a poor excuse right there.
You can stop trying to apologize or make excuses for what she's doing. You're just wasting your time now trying to defend her like that.
Right. But when it comes to Mom, can you hold on a little longer? The whole reason I wanted to move back home with her was to be able to live with her again after all.
Well, you did explain that to me a while back.
For the longest time now, you've been left to take care of Mom and that house. But I really wanted this time to be my turn so that you could finally have a break. So if you take Mom with you, there was no need for all of this effort spent.
And I told you long ago that you didn't have to worry so much about Mom and I, right? I get that you want to care for her again and everything, but you can't tell me it's a waste of time that you might not be able to live with her. She has a right to be around people that want to care for her, like you. But when you have Eloise there, well...
I know that, and I can't make an excuse for it. But you have been dealing with everything here by yourself for so long, and have never asked anyone for help. So I wanted to be the one to support you. I will not forgive what Eloise did to you, not one bit. I'll make sure she's held responsible for everything she did.
And I feel that you should hold her responsible to the fullest extent. I guess I have no choice but to give you a little more time then.
Raquel, how have you been doing since then? Are you having a fun time living all by yourself in that rundown shack of yours?
I'm actually having a pretty nice time at my new house. And when I'm finished getting everything unpacked and managed, I'll send you a video tour of the place so that you have a better idea where I'm living.
No need! I don't have any interest in looking at that dumpy apartment you're gonna try and fix up.
So you think that I'm still lying about everything regarding my life? I'd really like to know what gets you off about making fun of other people like that. Did I do something to you before that's made you this miserable?
I told you before that you were getting in my way. Are you not aware of all the people you've been causing problems for this whole time you've been alive? It's scary that you were so naive at that.
Well, before you begin to question others and worry about them, perhaps you should be thinking about how you yourself is doing.
Huh? Why should I have to worry about myself?
Well, don't you feel that your parents are going to try to contact you here soon?
Hey, what the hell is going on?
Huh? What are you talking about, Eloise?
Stop trying to play dumb with me now. I was just told by my parents that they no longer want to see me anymore and that I should never talk to them again. What the hell did you tell them to make them do this?
Well, that's a relief. It seems they have finally opened their eyes to what their daughter's been up to.
You told me that something bad happened within their company? Why the hell do you know anything about my dad and his company?
So you have no idea what's been going on at your parents' company then? Well, if you'd like to know why I know him, it's because I'm the CEO.
Huh?
I have my company, and your dad has his company, right? Well, both our companies are in a partnership at the moment.
Wait, I have no idea what you're going on about.
I've always been talking about how I work to create handmade goods, right? You have to tell me that you've known about me doing all of that, right?
Yeah, and I thought that was your excuse for being locked in your room all day long.
I was never using it as an excuse for anything, though. I'm running a company that happens to make handmade goods for people that order them through us. You could call it a smaller company, but I still happen to employ quite a few people, and we all tend to work from home making goods. And as for the stuff that was in my room being worked on, it was all a collaboration effort between a few different companies.
A collaboration?
Your father asked me to start working on all those goods as a way of getting his company's name out there. He wanted more customers to know about the company he runs, and so he wanted me making high-quality goods that he could use to inform and attract customers about his company and others.
What the hell? I don't believe you.
All of those pieces of jewelry I had been working on were for an upcoming event where they'd be sold for a limited time, but... Oh, that's a bit strange, isn't it? I haven't even started selling any of them yet. However, when looking online, I can see that they are already being sold for prices higher than I was planning to sell them at. I wonder who could have gotten a hold of all those goods while they were in my room. Could someone have stolen them from me instead of throwing them out?
Are you trying to blame me? You're being an idiot right now, Raquel.
But isn't the room that used to be mine, where I worked all the time and kept said goods, your room now? And in that room was a lot of my things before you moved in, throwing them all out, right? I had all my things in that room placed in boxes ready to be moved into my house, so it was all so easy for someone to take, right? Didn't I tell you to go out looking for those things for me before they got to the dump like you said would happen? Wait, you didn't do that, but you didn't give anything back to me. Instead, all of my things are back in your room in that house, still in their boxes.
Did you go through my room and find all those? What's wrong with you?
You're the one asking me that question? Well, anyway, because of what you'd done, I lost a lot of faith in your father's company, and that's why we've come to now. He lost a lot of the product he had asked for my company to craft for him, all to his little sister who once worked for him. So saddening, really.
Well, you can't blame me for all that. I didn't know anything about you and him working together. I just thought instead of throwing all those things out you were making, like the jewelry and such, it'd be better for me to make a little money off it by selling it all online.
No matter how you try and frame it, you took something that's not yours and have been selling it. You could be taken to court for stealing private property, especially the property of a well-established company.
Shut up! If you're gonna get so upset about it, then why don't you do something to fix all this?
Why would I be the one to do that? How about you try and do something about the mistake you've created?
Hey! Hey! Please reply to me!
What? I still have a little while longer before I can get home.
Well, I don't care about you being here or not right now. I have something seriously important to tell you about. Because of your sister, my parents are upset with me and no longer want anything to do with me now. Right now, your sister has no idea what she's talking about and has the wrong idea about everything. I just happened to do something a little out of line is all. But because of that, somehow, the contract she had with my dad's company is no more. How does something like that even happen?
Well, that was bound to happen with you, I suppose. All of the money that you made off selling my sister's things ended up going right into your own private bank account, right? So we know about everything, and know it's the truth.
I'm telling you that the only truth here is that your sister has everything all wrong in her head. I really wanted to become a good sister-in-law to her. Yeah, she's painting me as some kind of bad guy. Well, I'm sure that by making your sister lose a lot of her work and her job, she's going to become a lot better of a person now, right? I mean, she did all this to herself, right?
I don't think what you've done is going to help in making my sister any better than she already is. So are you telling me that even now, you don't feel bad for what you've done?
Why would I feel bad about the problem she created for herself? You gonna start blaming me for something I didn't do now as well, Brian?
I see. Well, I understand then. Eloise, I have some paperwork on top of the desk in my home office that I'd like you to take a good look at. Do you think you can go in there and give it a read?
Why would I do that now of all times? Ugh. Brian! Where are you at right now?
Right now? I'm still out of the house right now. Did you have a good look at the paperwork that was on my desk?
Why is this happening for no reason?
Don't you dare tell me there's no reason for what I'm doing. As long as you're willing to cooperate with me and sign everything you need to, I can have it all handed in.
Stop that, Brian. Are you really gonna let that witch win? What the hell happened to that slimy freak to make her this deranged?
Well, then let me say this, Eloise. You haven't only been selling my sister's company's goods on the online market, but you've been selling my mom's things now.
Huh?
All of the brand accessories that my mom has, as well as her purses and coats, and so on, have slowly started to appear online, and when they sell, they vanish from the house. Are you using the same account you used to sell my sister's things as well?
I'm sure there was just some unlucky coincidence there.
Well, I'll have a deeper look later into what's going on there. But tell me, what's actually going on here? Seems to me that you've been meeting with the same man multiple times a week. And this picture is from today. You happen to go out with him a lot during the day, when you say you're at home taking care of my mom, who really needs someone there for her. Strange. Not only have you not been upholding your end of the promise, but you've been cheating on me instead.
You have it all wrong. He just happened to have some things going on, so I met up with him. He's a good friend of mine.
I happen to have a friend of mine go out for me and get all sorts of exciting and wonderful photos of the both of you. Would you like to see them?
Well, hold on a couple of seconds.
I'm sorry, Eloise, but I no longer need someone like you in my life. We're getting divorced. And I want you out of my mom's house now.
Can you at least let me explain everything myself? I just happened to be having a hard time adjusting to the new house, and so I went out for a bit of fun. I promise to never do something like that again.
Are you sure?
I told you I won't anymore! And I'll only stay home to care for your mother from now on. You are my number one, Brian! So can you please believe me when I say all this to you?
I see. Well, if my sister is okay with what's been going on here, I'll rethink divorcing you.
Are you sure? That's a promise. Raquel, I might have happened to mess up a small bit.
Why are you coming to me again now? Have you finally heard the news from Brian that he wants to divorce you?
That's right. I think what happened this time has caused some rough patches between us.
Rough patches, huh?
I understand now that I did a lot of things wrong. But wanting a divorce because of all of it? Can't you agree with me that that way of thinking is way too dangerous in our relationship? You and I are family, right? Can you please help me get through this tough moment between him and I?
So?
What do you mean by so?
So, is this your way of apologizing to me for all you've done? So far, based off what you've been talking about, I can't seem to pick up on your apology to me anywhere.
What are you going on about? Acting like you deserve some kind of respect from me. Then how about I come over to your house right now and give you an apology in person? Would that make you happy?
Oh, I never asked for you to come to me. I just happen to know the kind of person you really are deep down is all.
Oh, come on, I'm coming over there right now. And once I've gotten down on my hands and knees and apologized, you forgive me, okay? You and I are family after all, so you shouldn't be too upset with me, right? I'll be at your sister's place in another couple minutes, okay? Can you tell me where you're even at right now? Are you out messing around or something?
I just got back to the house a little bit ago, and I'm looking after my mom now.
Hey, you plan to rethink getting a divorce and all that still, right? If you don't, I have no reason to really be apologizing for this, alright?
What kind of remark is that? Now that we're on that subject, have you gotten around to filling out your parts of the paperwork?
I have. I even sent you those pictures of all my signatures and everything on it already, right? You told me that if I didn't fill it out first, you wouldn't tell me the address of your sister's house, right?
I had to make sure I covered all my bases with you, since I can't trust you anymore.
Why not? Are you really going to say that all of this is my fault now?
I think so. But there are some parts of this that make me feel as though I'm to blame as well.
Huh? What does that mean?
Eloise, you have a very good idea of the man my father was, right?
I do, and about what happened to him 2 years ago before he passed away.
Good. Well, it was 10 years ago that the doctors found out my dad had a tumor, which subsequently led to him having cancer. And up until he had passed away, years after that, my sister was the one to look after both him and my mom at their home.
Well, she's been living at that house with them ever since she was little, so of course she should be made to care for them both.
The opposite of that, actually. At the time, I was out of the state for a while for work, so I couldn't do anything to help, really. So, as a result of that, my sister was forced to go back to their house and live with them for the past 10 years. And that's why I was able to rest easy knowing that she was there living with and caring for the two of them. After all, my parents wanted me to stay out of the state and continue working my job, since Raquel has a bit more freedom with her work. And well, I told you about all of this even before we got married, so I thought I'd never have to repeat any of this to you again. Are you sure you remember everything I told you about my sister and family?
Of course, why wouldn't I? And that's how I came to know that you are a really nice man.
So even though you knew about the sacrifices my sister had to make giving up her life for 10 years to be around them, you still meant all those horrible things you said? I really should have done something about you sooner, had I known everything you were doing to her.
Hey, Brian? Brian, answer your gosh dang phone already!
What?
I've pressed on her doorbell multiple times now, but she won't come and answer the door for me. And what is up with this place? Are you sure you gave me the right address to her house?
It looks like somewhere a celebrity would live, right? I was even shocked when I had a look at the place before she moved in.
Well, before we talk about that, why the hell is your sister now answering me? What does she think she's doing?
Raquel already talked about this. She heard from you that you were coming and that it was fine. But she never said to you that you'd be allowed to meet her.
Why the hell would she have me come all the way out here if she didn't even want me to meet her? Does she not want to listen to me apologize to her about the mistakes I made? What a witch. I mean, seriously, why would she waste my precious time by doing something so petty to me?
Huh? Are you kidding me, Eloise? Stop talking about my sister like that, you pile of crap. If I hear another word from you talking poorly about her, I'll make sure you never see the light of day again. And another thing, the amount of times her and I explained the current situation to you, you still haven't seemed to catch a hint. Do you really think that a simple apology to her is going to wash all you did away? I'm pissed that you kept so many things hidden from me, like cheating and leaving my mom alone, and what you say about my sister all the time is not acceptable.
I'm sorry about that. It just came out before I could stop myself from saying it. You shouldn't get so upset with me about that, okay?
Did your tongue just slip then? You think I'm gonna let a 5-year-old's excuse like that work here? Well, I'm very aware that my sister is never going to forgive you for what you done to her.
What? Then that means...
I had a look at the divorce papers, and everything seems to be in order. I'm going to be handing them in now.
Hold on a sec! You can't just do something like that to me. It's not fair! I've been apologizing for everything this whole dang time!
It's too late to apologize, and you should have known that from the start. I cannot trust you anymore, which means we cannot be together anymore. I'll make sure to get a settlement from you for cheating on me, and maybe from your partner as well.
You can't. Don't throw me away like this. I promise that I'll make everything up to you after this. I love you so much, Brian, and you should love me a lot too.
I don't love you anymore, Eloise, and I never will again. Make sure you pay me everything I asked for. Also, my sister is going to be suing you for stealing and selling her company's goods.
Huh?
And that's just from her company's side. You'll also be paying her for all the trouble you've caused her, and for the items you did throw away of hers. You're in for a real treat having to deal with her and her company now.
What? So she's really going to fight me over all of that? Even using her company?
Those products and goods of hers that you sold illegally all go for a lot of money and have really ruined her brand's image. She will have to fight for a long time to make up for the losses you forced on her, as well as fight to get her company's name cleaned. She's already in the process of getting her lawyers together. I think in a little while her lawyers and her will be coming for you to let you know what you'll be owing her.
Do you know how much I'm going to have to pay then?
I'm not sure of all the details, but you're looking at paying upwards of $1 to $2 million.
You have to realize that I don't have that kind of money. Where am I supposed to get money like that from? I don't have anyone that can support me now either, Brian.
Wait, are you not able to get any help from your parents now? That's right, they kicked you out of their family. Well, I guess you'll just have to do what every other responsible adult does and get a job.
I don't want to work, though. And if this is all made public information, then there will be no way of me finding a job with everyone knowing what happened with me and her product. Why is all of this happening to me?
Because you asked for it?
I'm so sorry, Brian. I really made a lot of crappy choices and screwed everything up. Can you please find a way to forgive me? If you guys both do this to me, then I'm never going to be able to live a normal life again.
I told you everything that's going to happen soon, and I don't plan on telling you again. So if you have any questions or things to say, talk with our lawyers about it. Now, I'll be heading out.
Brian, please wait. Hey, Brian, please. I told you that I'm so sorry for everything. Hey!
Raquel, I was able to get divorced from Eloise. And as for the money I'm asking for from her, my lawyer and I will continue working on it.
Really? I'm so glad to see how much her being an idiot led to her downfall. Now, if you let another woman do anything like this to you or I again, I'm not going to be forgiving you either.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about what happened this time.
Now tell me, why were you getting so worked up over her? Did you really have something to hide about her, or think that I was going to do something bad to you?
Well, look, you said to me that you've always wanted to have a store of your own and everything, right? But because I was out of the state, and you were forced to take care of Mom and Dad the whole time, you could never do that, right? I feel like I'm the one responsible for taking your dream from you, and that any sort of screw-ups on my end will only make you hate me more.
Well, if you feel as though you owe me something or have done something that bad, talk to me about it. I get that in the past I did want to open a store of my own selling my products. But as of right now, I'm doing the same thing, just online and from the comfort of my own home. Really, the work I do right now is just like the dream I had.
Is that right? So then, I just made myself get all worked up for nothing.
But I'm the same as you are there. I should have spoken with you about myself a bit more and told you that I was doing all right with Mom. But since I never did, you ended up having the stress of worrying about me and what I was thinking build up in you. So I'm sorry for getting you so worked up.
No worries. You didn't do a dang thing wrong anyways. Now, as for what'll be happening next, I want you to let me take care of Mom for you from now on, okay?
Huh? But what'll happen during the day while you're at work?
I plan to hire a helper, or some kind of day service to help while I'm not there. You happen to have found yourself someone that'll take good care of Mom from now on. So I'll make sure that everything is taken care of here at her house, while you go out and enjoy your life.
Fine. You really do love to make other people happy, don't you? I'm happy that you care so much about me. Thank you, Brian. In the end, Brian's ex-wife Eloise was hit with large amounts of money that she had to pay off. She wasn't able to find any friends or family to help support her, and I believe that her life is going to be a difficult one from now on. I've heard that recently she's been getting into it with the loan sharks, but we'll have to see whether their money can really help her in the long run or not. Right now, Brian is living with my mom at her house and taking great care of her when he can. He even spends all of his days off with her there, and I'm actually quite surprised with how good of a caregiver he is to her. I really hope that if Brian is still looking, he finds someone a lot more kind-hearted and cute than that Eloise. As for myself, I found a new man, and we've even gotten engaged and have started living together in my new house. I think right now I'm at the most happy moment in my life, but I hope it gets even more amazing from here.